If you are holding SUI, EIGEN, HUMA, Optimism, or any of the other tokens I am about to name, you need to watch this video right now, because this week, between May 25th and May 31st, 2026, a total of $80.17 million worth of previously locked crypto tokens are being released into circulation across 54 different projects. Token unlocks are one of the most predictable and yet most overlooked sources of selling pressure in the entire crypto market. When locked tokens get released early, investors, team members, and advisors who receive tokens at a fraction of current prices suddenly have the ability to sell, and in a market that is already under pressure, with Bitcoin having just crashed to $74,344 over the weekend before rebounding to around $77,000. The timing of this week's unlocks could not be more critical. In this video I am going to break down every major unlock happening this week, explain which tokens are at the highest risk of selling pressure, explain which ones are actually safe, and give you a practical framework for protecting your portfolio during unlock events. Let's get into it. Before we get into the specific tokens, let me explain how token unlocks actually work and why they matter so much for price, because most retail investors have no idea this mechanism even exists until they see their token drop 20 or 30% in a day for no obvious reason. When a new crypto project launches, not all of its tokens are released immediately. Instead, large portions of the token supply are locked for a period of time under a vesting schedule. These locked tokens are typically held by early investors who funded the project, the founding team and developers, advisors and partners, and the project treasury. The vesting schedule defines when and how these locked tokens become transferable. There are two main types of vesting events. The first is a cliff unlock. This is when a large batch of tokens all become available on a single specific date. Cliff unlocks are the most dangerous for price because they release a large supply all at once. If the recipients want to sell, they all have the ability to do so simultaneously. The second type is a linear unlock. This is when tokens are released gradually over time. A small amount every day or every week. Linear unlocks create steady but manageable selling pressure. The key question for any token unlock event is this: are the recipients likely to sell? Early investors who bought tokens at a tiny fraction of the current price have a strong financial incentive to take some profit. Team members who have been building for years may want to diversify their wealth. However, strategic investors and project teams who believe in the long term often hold through unlocks or sell only a small portion. Understanding who is receiving the unlocked tokens is the most important factor in assessing the price risk. Now let's look at the biggest token unlock event of this week, which is SUI. SUI has the single largest unlock of the week at about $14.85 million, against a reported market cap of roughly $4.13 billion and a price of $1.03, with 40.08% of its maximum supply already released. This event adds noticeable supply but remains well under 1% of market cap, fitting within a mature yet ongoing emission curve. The $14.85 million unlock is going to the community reserve, which is an important detail. Community reserve tokens are typically used for ecosystem development, grants, and protocol incentives rather than being dumped on the open market immediately. This means the SUI unlock, while the largest in dollar terms this week, is actually one of the lower risk events from a selling pressure perspective. However, in a bearish market environment like the one we are in right now, even community reserve unlocks can create uncertainty and cause retail investors to preemptively sell. SUI is currently trading at approximately $1.03 with a market cap of $4.13 billion. The unlock represents approximately 0.36% of market cap, which is relatively manageable. The next SUI unlock after this week is actually scheduled for June 1st, 2026, meaning SUI holders will face 2 consecutive weeks of unlock pressure. Now let's talk about the token unlocks that carry the highest actual selling pressure risk this week, because these are the ones you really need to watch. HUMA Finance leads with $458.75 million. HUMA worth $11.64 million unlocking on May 26. Plasma releases $88.89 million XPL on May 25. And SAHARA AI unlocks $132.93 million SAHARA on May 26. But here is where it gets very interesting. HUMA Finance's team and major investors voluntarily extended the May 26 investor cliff by 6 months to November 26, 2026. This is an extraordinary and rare signal. when a project's team and investors voluntarily delay their own ability to sell, it is one of the strongest signals of long-term conviction you can see in the crypto market. It tells you that the team believes the token will be worth more in 6 months than it is today, and they are willing to wait to prove it. This voluntary extension effectively removes the most dangerous category of sellers, the early investors and insiders. From the May 26th unlock, only a portion of the HUMA unlock will hit the open market. The Plasma XPL unlock of 88.89 million tokens worth $7.24 million is directed entirely to the Ecosystem and Growth Fund. Again, this reduces immediate sell pressure. Humanity Protocol's H token has a $22 million cliff on May 25 spanning 3 allocation buckets including identity verification rewards and ecosystem operation. This is one of the larger and more concerning unlocks of the week because cliff events of this size in identity and ecosystem allocations can lead to immediate selling. Now let's talk about the full picture of the $80.17 million total because understanding the breakdown helps you prioritize where the real risks are. The week of May 25th to 31st, 2026 features scheduled token unlocks for 54 tracked crypto assets with a combined upcoming unlock value of approximately $80.17 million across 54 tokens based on prices as of May 25th at 4:55 a.m. UTC. The top-tier unlock events this week and their dollar values are as follows: SUI at $14.85 million going to Community Reserve, Humanity Protocol H at $22 million in Cliff Unlock, HUMA Finance HUMA at $11.64 million but with voluntary investor extension, Plasma XPL at $7.24 million directed to Ecosystem, SAHARA AI SAHARA with significant unlock, Kamino Finance KMNO with notable release, and Optimism OP with ongoing linear emissions. The mid-tier includes XPL at $203.82 million, SAHARA at $112.30 million, KMNO at $92.11 million, DYDX at $122.70 million, OP at $269.75 million, and several others including Alt, W, REZ, and GAL. These dollar figures represent the market cap of the respective tokens, not the unlock value itself. The actual unlock values are fractions of these numbers. For most of the market these unlocks are manageable and unlikely to trigger systemic stress, but for individual tokens, especially those with unlocks exceeding high single-digit percentages of market cap, short-term price risk is elevated. Now here is the most important context that every investor needs to understand about this week's token unlocks. They are happening at the absolute worst time from a market sentiment perspective. Bitcoin crashed to $74,344 over the weekend, the lowest level in over a month, triggering approximately $917 million in crypto futures liquidations in a single 24-hour period. The Fear and Greed Index is sitting in extreme fear territory. ETF outflows have totaled $2.26 billion over the past 2 weeks, and now $80.17 million of newly unlocked tokens are hitting the market this week. When market sentiment is negative and prices are falling, token unlock recipients are significantly more likely to sell because they want to lock in whatever profits they have before prices fall further. This creates a self-reinforcing cycle. Token unlocks increase supply. Increased supply creates selling pressure pushes prices lower prices cause more fear causes more recipients to sell their newly unlocked tokens. However, there is a counterbalancing force this week. The HUMA Finance voluntary 6-month extension by team and investors is actually a strong signal of confidence. It says that at least one major project's insiders believe we are closer to a bottom than a top. When insiders extend their lockups voluntarily, they are essentially saying they do not need or want to sell at current prices. That is a bullish signal worth noting. Now let's talk about how to use token unlock data in your investment decisions because this is incredibly practical information that gives you an edge in the market. Strategy 1 is to check unlock schedules before buying any altcoin. Before you buy any altcoin token, go to tokenomist.ai and check the upcoming unlock schedule. If there is a large cliff unlock coming within the next 30 days, especially one going to early investors or team members, that is a reason to wait. You can often buy the same token at a lower price after the unlock pressure passes. Strategy 2 is to watch for voluntary extensions. When a project's team or investors voluntarily extend their lockup period, pay close attention. This is one of the most reliable bullish signals in the entire altcoin market. It is rare and significant. The HUMA Finance extension this week is exactly this type of signal. Strategy 3 is to assess unlock as a percentage of market cap. The size of an unlock matters relative to the token's liquidity. A $15 million unlock for a token with a $4 billion market cap like SUI is very different from a $15 million unlock for a token with a $50 million market cap. The latter could move price by 30% in a day. Strategy 4 is to look at who receives the tokens. Community reserve and ecosystem unlocks are much less dangerous than investor and team unlocks. Investors and team members have cost bases near zero and are motivated to sell. Ecosystem funds are typically deployed gradually for grants and development. Strategy 5 is to use unlock events as potential buying opportunities. In many cases, altcoin prices dip in the week before a large unlock as traders front-run the anticipated selling pressure. If you believe in a project's fundamentals, a pre-unlock dip can be a good entry point, provided the unlock itself is not going to early investors who are likely to dump. Now let's quickly look at what this week's unlock data means specifically for the tokens that are most actively traded by retail investors, starting with SUI at $14.85 million, risk level is low to medium. The unlock goes to community reserve, which is less likely to sell immediately. However, SUI faces 2 consecutive unlock weeks as the next event is June 1, 2026. Price to watch is $1. If SUI holds above $1 through the unlock, it signals resilience. A break below $1 could see it test $0.85 to $0.90 support. Optimism OP has ongoing linear emissions through this week. Risk level is low. Linear unlocks create steady manageable selling pressure and OP has significant liquidity to absorb it. The more concerning tokens this week are those in the high ratio unlock category, meaning smaller market cap tokens where the unlock represents a significant percentage of circulating supply. These are the tokens most likely to see meaningful short-term price drops. If you are holding any token that has a large unlock this week and you are not sure of the details, check tokenomist.ai immediately. The data is publicly available and free to access. Knowing your token's unlock schedule is basic due diligence that every crypto investor should practice. So let's bring this all together. This week between May 25th and May 31st, 2026, a total of $80.17 million in previously locked tokens will be released into circulation across 54 crypto projects. The largest single unlock is SUI at $14.85 million going to community reserve. A relatively low selling pressure risk given the destination of the tokens. HUMA Finance's $11.64 million unlock on May 26 comes with an extraordinary bullish signal as the team and investor voluntarily extended their lockup by 6 months to November 2026. Plasma XPL releases $7.24 million on May 25 directed entirely to ecosystem and growth. Humanity Protocol H has a $22 million cliff on May 25, which is one of the higher risk events of the week. The context matters enormously. Bitcoin crashed to $74,344 over the weekend before rebounding. $917 million in liquidations hit the market, and ETF outflows totaled $2.26 billion over 2 weeks. In this environment, token unlock selling pressure is amplified and you need to be aware of your specific holdings. Use tokenomist.ai to check unlock schedules, watch for voluntary extensions as bullish signals, assess unlock size as a percentage of market cap, and consider using pre-unlock price dips as potential buying opportunities in tokens you believe in long term. If this video helped you understand crypto token unlocks, please hit the like button and subscribe to the Crypto Skill for daily crypto updates. Drop a comment below. Are you holding any of the tokens unlocking this week? Let me know.